Bronx baseball with a walk-off winner in extra innings. Sam Street continues to show why he's one of the best pitchers on the planet. We'll delve deeper to try to figure out what makes him so good. And we've shown you some of their play this spring. Now we ask the question, what exactly does the UTPA volleyball team work on during the spring? This is Bronc Country.
Heads up. Whoa! That was about that close.
Welcome to Bronc Country. I'm Jonah Goldberg. The University of Texas Pan American baseball team back home for a 5-game homestand, and has started to become the case on Friday nights. Scouts in the stands to see Sam Street as he tangoed with Grand Canyon in the opener of a 3-game series. And when Street is on the mound, it doesn't often take more than a run or two to win. Bottom of the second, the Broncs have runners on the corners with 1 out. The 0-2 to Brandon Roush. How about that? Suicide squeeze. The Broncs lead 1-0. And then Street took over. Strikes out Ben Mosseth in the third. And then in the fourth, Street gets Garrett Jeffries to ground out. Now the Antelopes scratched across a run in the sixth. So we move to the ninth, game still tied at 1, and Street still dominating. Matt Haggerty grounds out. This one's headed for extras, bonus baseball. And in the 10th, it's still Sam Street. Strikes out Brian Kraft to punctuate the outing. 8 strikeouts, no walks, just 4 singles allowed. Street retired 25 of the final 27 batters he faced. So can the Broncs get Street the win? The winning run at second with 2 outs, and the batter is Alex Howe. Drummond sets at the belt and deals. Breaking ball, lifted in the air to right field. If it drops in, this game is over. Dive, it drops. Lee Rios comes home and he scores the winning run. Broncs win! Broncs win! Broncs win! And they mob Alex Howe between first and second as he comes up with a walk-off single to propel the Broncs to a 2-1 win in 10 innings over Grand Canyon.
It was tough. They brought on a lefty. You know, we saw that especially through Vic's at bat, that, you know, he's a submarine guy. Definitely, lefties are hard enough, lefty on lefty, but when you got a guy coming from a low arm slot like that, it makes it a little bit harder. So I was fortunate enough to see what he was doing with Vic. I knew he was coming ahead with a fastball. I fouled off a pretty good pitch. I thought it was a very good pitch to hit. Got jammed a little bit. Fortunate enough, I got another pitch, and then I was lucky, very lucky. You know, it was a curveball, so it slowed down a lot, and lucky enough to put enough on it, and lucky enough to get the win. So Sam deserves all the credit in tonight's game. He tremendous as usual. You know, to go 10 innings, giving up 1 run, and just dominating the Grand Canyon all day. You know, they had some good hitters. They had some good at-bats, and Sam was just on par tonight. So all credit to Sam, and I was just fortunate enough to get the hit at the end.
You know, I wasn't really too concerned about the innings because I think tonight I've been a lot more efficient than I have been in the past, and I know in the past couple of weeks I've been throwing a ton of pitches. So, you know, I was feeling good out there. At least towards the end, I felt I was maybe even getting stronger. So just trying to keep him at 1.
Both guys, their kid, I think he's going to play professional baseball too. He did a great job. Him and Sam were battling, you know, from the first pitch all the way through 9 innings. So their guy pitched extremely well too. And then, you know, Howe coming in against that tough lefty coming down with the arm angle. He did a great job of staying in there and getting the game-winning hit. But both teams, and especially both pitchers, did an outstanding job today.
Street just earned his 3rd WAC Pitcher of the Week award. So let's take you inside the numbers. Street leads the WAC in all 3 Triple Crown categories. He's 7-0 with a 1.70 ERA and 52 strikeouts. On Friday, Street threw more than 75% of his pitches for strikes. He's thrown more than 1,000 pitches this season, and 67% of them have been strikes. To give you an idea of how good that is, only 8 Major League pitchers who qualified for the ERA title in 2013 threw a higher percentage of their pitches for strikes than Street. It's a pretty good list with guys like Cliff Lee, David Price, Cole Hamels, and Adam Wainwright on there. But I'll do you one better. Here's a sampling of the pitchers that throw fewer strikes than Sam Street. How about both of last year's Cy Young Award winners, Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer, making the list? Other notable names include former Cy Young Award winners Justin Verlander, CC Sabathia, R.A. Dickey, Felix Hernandez, Zach Greinke, and Tim Lincecum. So what makes Sam Street so good? Vince Erickson has the answer.
Sam Street on a typical game day.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Right through the changeup. Street pumps his fist. He heads back to the dugout. He's pitched a career-high 10 innings of baseball so far.
Yep, fairly typical, which meant pretty typical preparation during the week. A lot of non-throwing stuff, and some tosses as well. Now, what separates Sam Street when it comes to popping the glove come game time? His knack for throwing a complete game. He's one of the nation's best. What separates him from most pitchers when it comes to going the distance?
Well, with Sam, he's very efficient, Vince. He throws strikes, he keeps the ball down. He really minimizes his pitches. So with Sam, it's just a matter of putting down a finger, and he's usually pretty good about hitting the target. So it allows him to go further in games than most guys. Where most guys have 110 pitches in the fourth or fifth inning, Sam has 110 pitches in the sixth or seventh or eighth inning.
The thing with Sam is he has the ability to repeat his mechanics. That's what we try to instill in all our guys. I mean, whether a guy has good mechanics or bad mechanics, the ability to repeat on every pitch, with every pitch that he has, is the big factor in his success and a lot of pitchers' success. Just ability to, same arm slot every time out of the slider, out of the changeup, out of the fastball. Everything's the same. Everything's the same through every pitch, through the motion.
Let's go inning by inning. What are you looking for first inning?
Probably just 3 ground balls to the shortstop would be great.
Sure. Second inning.
3 more.
Third inning.
3 more again.
Fourth inning.
Just keeps going until the ninth. 3 easy ground balls, not take it every inning. Really just to attack the strike zone. You can't walk guys, you can't throw waste pitches. You really got to go after them, because the only way you can go 9 is if you attack, and really be efficient. Every time you take the mound, you got to have the attitude that it's your game to win. So you got to give it all you got and get after it.
There are some extraordinary numbers to back up all those ordinary things that Sam Street does to not only be the Bronx ace, but one of the best pitchers in all of NCAA Division I baseball. His 5 complete games and his 8 starts, second in the nation, and his 7 victories are easily in the top 5 in the nation. Now, of those victories, 1 is a shutout, the other is a 4-hit, 10-inning gem that he tossed here at the stadium last Friday in the victory over Grand Canyon. Plus, there was a New York Yankees scout in the stands here at that game to see Sam Street for himself. So the question begs, why isn't Sam Street getting more complete game love when it comes to national college recognition?
I think the big deal is with the velocity too. I mean, every guy out there, all the scouts, all the big time guys are looking for, when you go look online and some of the blogs and things like that, it's, hey, this guy's a 94 to 96 guy. Sam isn't that. And maybe that's why he hasn't gotten the love or the respect I think he really deserves. I mean, he's a true complete pitcher, and I think he deserves a little bit more. So I've been scratching my head along the same lines as that.
Street commands 3 pitches, fastball, slider, and changeup. When it comes to the individual recognition, he'll add a verbal curveball to his repertoire.
I hope the Bronx win a WAC championship. That's the biggest thing. If we can do that and sneak into a regional, win a regional, make some noise up there, I think everyone will get the recognition they deserve.
Proving Sam Street is a complete team player, as well as one of the nation's best complete game artists. At the Edinburg Baseball Stadium, I'm Vince Erickson reporting for Bronc Country.
Of course, Friday wasn't the Bronx' only game of the weekend, and it wasn't the Bronx' only strong pitching performance either. Coming up on Bronc Country, highlights of the rest of the Bronx series against Grand Canyon.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronc Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
You already know that the University of Texas Pan American baseball team took the first game of the series from Grand Canyon. It was a real pitcher's duel, ending 2-1 in 10 innings. If you like pitching, you'll like the Game 3 highlights. The Game 2 belonged to the offense. Pick it up in the bottom of the first, Bronx down 2-0, both runners at second and third, and Alex Howe does his job. Two-hopper to second. That gets Jesus Garcia in and sends Victor Garcia Jr. to third. Good thing, because one batter later, Brian Ramirez follows suit. He hits a chopper over the mound. Nice play by Paul Panachone to get him at first, but Garcia scores, and the game is tied at 2. Move ahead to the fourth, Bronx down 5-2. And tell me if this sounds familiar. Runners at second and third, nobody out, and Brandon Roush hits a bouncer in the infield. Great play by Chris Lindmark to get it out, but Edgar Cordon scores. Bronx within 2. 1 out later, Jesus Garcia decides, you know what? Enough of these RBI groundouts. How about an RBI single? Serves it into right to score Shane Ammon. Bronx within 5-4. Next inning, same score. Runners at second and third, this time with 1 out, and Cordon hits a two-hopper to short. Gets Alberto Morales home, game tied at 5. Next batter, Shane Ammon. Little cue shot into right center, and that dunks in for a hit. Ramirez scores. The Bronx have their first lead at 6-5. On to the sixth. Game tied at 6. Garcia at second with 2 outs. Howe with a fly ball to right, and Brian Kraft misses it. Garcia scores, and what turns into an RBI triple for Howe. The Bronx leads 7-6. Now Blake English went the first 6, so it's up to the bullpen to close it out. After a 1-2-3 7th, Andrew Padron has a runner on with 2 outs in the 8th, and he gets Panachone looking. 9th inning, pinch hitter Charles Wagner swinging. Padron with 3 scoreless innings for his second save. Bronx win 7-6.
Oh, it felt great. I wanted the opportunity to come in late in the game in a close game like that, and whenever I had the chance to do it, I was going to execute as well as I can. I have great defense behind me, so I was just trying to throw a quality strike, and he ended up whiffing.
That was comforting for our offense, knowing that we have a pitcher that's going to come and close the game out. It gives you a release. Like you calm down. You know that you're going to have somebody backing you up, and that you don't have to do as much hitting wise.
Andrew has been one of the guys that's pitched reasonably well for us, and he did it again today. We brought him in. Blake was getting a little tired. We brought him in for the last 9 outs, and as a freshman, he did an outstanding job.
Bronx going for the sweep Sunday, and this game was all about the Alexes. Let's start with Alex Howe. Comes up with Jesus Garcia at second and 1 out in the first. Hits a chopper to short, but Paul Panachone appears to lose sight of the baseball. As it squirts by him into the outfield, Garcia scores 1-0 Bronx. 3rd inning, game tied at 1, and no one on base for Howe to drive in, so he drives in himself. Howe's team-leading 3rd home run of the season, his 5th RBI of the series. Bronx go up 2-1.
I learned a lot from my first at-bat against that lefty. He was throwing pretty well. He's pretty deceptive today, so the first at-bat he threw me in, a lot of fastballs in, and so I sort of had the idea that he was going to do it again. And so I began to cheat a little in. I cheated a little too far, but that home run was definitely wind assisted today, and I only just got it, so I was happy with it anyway.
Now let's switch Alexes and go to Alex Henson. Now, if you spell out his name, there's no K in it, but there probably should be. Gets Matt Haggerty swinging to start the second. Next batter, Brian Kraft, looking. 2 batters later, Brandon Smith, swinging. Henson strikes out the side in the second. And then David Walker, the first batter of the 4th, swinging. 4 straight outs via the punch-out for Henson. On to the 5th. It's Haggerty again, this time just looking. And then later in the inning, Josh Ethier gone fishing. 6th inning, Josh Meyer at the plate, already with 2 doubles today, but Henson gets his revenge. Second straight 7 strikeout performance for Henson, but the Broncs fall 3-2.
You know, I just really wanted to keep the momentum on our side and make pitches and get ground ball outs. You know, I'm not really a strikeout pitcher. Here lately I've been getting some strikeouts, but just trying to get ground balls, get outs, get us back in there to hit.
We were just 1 hit from probably winning the game today and obviously sweeping. And you know, there's not much you can do. We left 12 runners on base. That's a lot. Again, 1 hit away, and it's been that way throughout the season. But like I told them, things are starting to change. We lost 8 one-run games. We won Friday night a 1-run game. We won yesterday a 1-run game, and today we had our opportunity. So things are changing. They're changing for the better, especially with the pitchers. Pitchers are beginning to throw more strikes and a lot less walks.
Here's a look at the WAC standings. Sacramento State on a 12-game winning streak to top the conference. A bit more parity in the middle, as 2nd and 8th place are separated by 3 games. The Broncs currently in 8th, but just 1 game out of a playoff spot, with 18 WAC games to go. The Broncs continue WAC play this weekend when they visit Utah Valley. It's the Broncs' first WAC series against a familiar opponent, as the Broncs and Wolverines are former Great West Conference rivals.
Utah Valley, great coaches, good players. They're very well coached. They've got good athletes. They can pitch it, they can hit. They've been very, very good in the past. And you're right, from our old conference, they know us, we know them. So obviously, they've got a little bit of advantage going in. They're at home. But if we want to win, we got to be a better road team. We got to win some games on the road. So we're kind of focusing on that as a staff.
UTPA track and field in action at the Islanders Dash in Corpus Christi on Saturday, posting 18 top 5 finishes, including a pair of victories. Jesus Alvarez picked up the win in the shot put, while Antonio Gonzalez led the way in the high jump. Jasmine Davison and Christina Santiago Bravo paced the Broncs on the women's side, finishing 2nd in the hammer throw and javelin respectively. The Broncs head to Incarnate Word for their next event on Friday and Saturday. UTPA men's tennis closing out the regular season at Laredo, the 2nd-ranked junior college in the nation, winners of 7 of the last 8 NJCAA national championships. The Broncs drop a tight one, 3-4. The Broncs squeaked out the doubles point thanks to an 8-7 win at number 2 by Alejandro Sanoa and Juan Cruz Soria. Joseph Bishop and Mauricio Fasado, the winners at number 5 and 6 singles, to round out the scoring. The Broncs get a few weeks off before the WAC championships, April 25th through the 27th. Last week, we showed you highlights from the Broncs volleyball team's home spring tournament. Next on Bronc Country, we'll show you exactly what the Broncs are working on. University of Texas Pan American Volleyball head coach Brian Yale once told me that he thinks volleyball is a little backwards. You play in the fall and then you work in the spring to get better. Of course, when you're working in the spring, you're doing so without your incoming freshmen and sometimes without the graduating seniors. Still, there's a lot to accomplish in the spring. Romeo Villarreal has more.
Last November, UTPA volleyball wrapped up its regular season. What have they been working on since then?
We mostly focus on things that we didn't do well in the fall. So if blocking is something that we struggled at, we'll work more on blocking that day. Or if digging was something that we were struggling on, we'll work more on that. We just break it down that way.
Off-season practice allows the team to fine-tune their games and make adjustments for the next season.
This gives some time to really work out some of the kinks, really change some techniques if there's something that needs to be changed. There's no opponent prep or anything like that, so we can really work on any true deficiencies that we saw from the fall. With the competitions that we have, we can see based on different levels of competition, based on different teams and things like that, what was a consistent strength, what was a consistent deficiency, and we can really address those issues.
Coach Yale believes the team is more receptive in the off-season because they don't have the stress that comes with the regular volleyball season.
In season, there's the travel, there's the academics, there's the practices, there's trying to prepare for new opponents, 2, sometimes 4 or 5 opponents a week. That's a lot of information and a lot of stuff going on. Where here in the spring, we're not missing class at all, so they don't have that stress, and that's a big stress on these student athletes is, the missing class and making up work and things like that.
Reporting from the UTPA Fieldhouse, for Bronc Country, this is Romeo Villarreal.
Last week, some of UTPA's head coaches who have or still do coach student athletes of the opposite gender told you about the differences in coaching these different student athletes. The UTPA track and field team's coaching staff is currently comprised of 2 men and 1 woman. So we went out to the track to see what some of their student athletes think about the differences in having male coaches versus female coaches.
Honestly, they do their job. All of my previous coaches have done their job fantastically, getting the technique down, explaining everything as pumped up and whatnot. So there may be a little gender difference, but not much at all.
Either way it goes, as long as they show that they care about the athlete and they care about what they're doing, I think which male or female, it'll be great either way.
Honestly, there ain't no difference. They both work the same way, hardworking, dedicated to us.
Well, personally for me, I really don't see a difference. I mean, all my life I've been coached by men coach, and since this year we have a new coach, Miss Johnson, and she's also from Jamaica, so I could relate to her. I mean, just because of culture-wise, but I really don't see a difference. Once they respect me and I respect them, I think it's the same. They could put in the same work and they could make us do whatever it is, they want us to do. So I really don't see a difference.
If you want to show your support for the Broncs, donate to the Bronc Athletic Fund today. You can become a member of the BAF for just $50 a year. All of the money raised goes directly to student-athlete scholarships, so visit BroncAthleticFund.com today to see how you can make a meaningful impact on the lives of student-athletes. One way you can donate to the Bronc Athletic Fund is by participating in our 8th annual bait fishing tournament, better known as BAIT, on South Padre Island this Saturday. You could be one of 8 teams to win over $10,000 in cash prizes, including a $4,000 grand prize. Visit UTPABronx.com/bait for more information.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronc Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Pretty light week ahead for the Broncs. The baseball team visits Utah Valley for a 3-game series Friday through Sunday. Track and field is at Incarnate Word Friday and Saturday. Volleyball also in San Antonio for their final spring tournament of the season, this one at Trinity. We want to thank you for stamping your passport in Bronc Country this week. Schedule another visit for next week. But until then,
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronc Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.